Imagine if you could advertise your business on pretty much any website out there without paying a penny in advertising fees. Well, it just so happens you can. In this video, I'm going to show you a really awesome tool that will allow you to do just that without spending any money on paid ads. So stick around for this one. What's going on, guys? It's Tom here from Elevate Digital, and if it's your first time to the channel and you're serious about getting better results from your digital marketing, be sure to hit that subscribe button below for more awesome content like this on a weekly basis. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you a really awesome tool that we discovered recently called Replug, which basically allows you to promote your business, your brand, your offer on pretty much any website out there. Now, there are a few caveats which I'll show you in a bit, but for the most part, this will allow you to take any third-party website and show a custom pop-up of your own business, your own brand, and your own offer to start driving more traffic and sales into your business without spending any money on ads. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys and show you what this is all about and how it works. So this is Replug. So effectively what it is it's a link shortening tool. So if you're familiar with Bitly or you've ever used Bitly, it's a similar thing where you put a link into it from a third-party website and it will shorten that link for you. But one of the really awesome things that Replug actually does is when it shortens that link, it allows you to customize how other people see that website or that page they're going on. And by doing that, you can actually put your own pop-ups to advertise your business and your offer on any website on the internet. So this allows you to effectively curate content from other websites out there and borrow from their authority and their reputation and then show your brand and promote your brand over the top of it. The other really cool thing it allows you to do is build your retargeting audience so you can then retarget with those people at a later date. So I'll just dive into the platform now and show you exactly how this works. So effectively what we'll start by doing is creating a campaign, and your campaign is effectively about like what is it you're looking to promote. So you can have multiple campaigns sending people to different pages on your website, different offers, etc. So I've just made a test one here, so I've just called this test, and you'll see it's got campaign type, so we can actually click retargeting pixel. Now if you're familiar with retargeting, what this will basically do, normally people would have to come onto your website and you can place cookies on their device so that you can actually retarget them on another platform. So let's say somebody's visited your website organically, we can then retarget them on Facebook, for example, right? So we know those people who have come to our website, and retargeting campaigns are really powerful because that person's already been on your website and expressed an interest. It's a warm audience, so we'll usually be able to get much cheaper cost per lead or cost per sale when it comes to advertising to them. The great thing about this though is by using Replug, these people don't even need to visit your website for you to be able to retarget them. You just need to share a link from another website out there, and even if they click on that link, you can then put them into your retargeting list and create custom audiences. The reason this is so powerful is because it allows you to segment your audience into buckets based on what you're sharing. So let's say, for example, with us, maybe we're sharing an article on SEO, which I'll show you an example of in a minute. We can then put them into a retargeting audience, which is specifically to do with SEO. So when we come to follow up with those people, they've already clicked on the article and raised their hand to show that that's what they're interested in. So we can then deliver them a very, very relevant advertising message. But the reason you guys are here is because you want to know how can you start advertising, for free on these websites. And that's exactly what this widget section allows you to do. So you'll see here, it basically gives you a pop-up that you can show on any website, and you can customize this pop-up however you want it. You can even have a form if you want to, so you can ask for, an email address, get people to subscribe to a newsletter, Or what I think is more effective is driving people to a specific action, and you can customize this however you want. So you can choose a headline, you can choose a description, and then you just put in your button URL. So whether you're sending them to a shop page, a certain offer, a lead magnet of some sort, which I would highly suggest as being the most effective. Instead of sending people straight to buy, you want to get them into some entry point offer or lead magnet of some sort. If you're not familiar with the concept of a lead magnet, I'm going to put a link to another video I did up here. It's a fantastic way of generating more leads for your business. I'll also put a link to that in the description so you can check that out after this video. Now, let's get into how this would work practically, right? So let's say, for example, I've seen an article that I want to share. If you guys are familiar with Yoast, it's basically, an SEO plugin for WordPress that makes SEO much easier and more accessible for people. Now, Yoast are a huge company, huge, user base, very, a lot of people out there know them. Now, the great thing about this is we can kind of borrow from Yoast's authority. Right? Or let's say, we were using some big news publication, big media publication out there, like, I don't know, Forbes magazine, for example, that everybody knows about. When we share those links, it's much easier to get clicks because people recognize the brand, they recognize the brand name, as opposed to when you're sharing your own stuff, it can feel a bit salesy, a bit like you're trying to promote things, so people might not want to click on it. Whereas when you're sharing it from a third party and you're sharing an article, people are much more inclined to click because you're sharing some form of value. But what we can do here using this pop-up, and how I would suggest you use this, is to have something that kind of ties in to that article. So let's say I'm sharing this article about 10 tips for an awesome and SEO friendly blog post. What we can do here is if we put this into our replug link and we then click on save link, we can then copy this, so it will give us this link here that we can share with our audience. And when I actually type this in, you'll see that as we're scrolling down here, there'll be a pop-up that comes up like that. And you can set different conditions on here so it pops up at different times when maybe people have scrolled down the page, for example. How I would suggest doing this, obviously this is one I just set up as a test, but for here you want to match the intent of what the blog or post or article that you're sharing is about. So for this one, we offer a free, in our agency, or for a free digital website review, website and marketing review service, where we will go through people's websites, we will give them practical tips on how they can increase their traffic, leads and sales. So what I could potentially do here is reframe this to say, do you want a free SEO video audit of your website? Right, and then have a button that goes through to that review page. So the key to making this as effective as possible and to be able to generate as many leads and sales from this as possible is you want to make the pop-up relevant to the article you're sharing, as opposed to just being, hey, come and buy this right now, right? Because then nobody's going to click on it. But when you do this right, and when you can make it relevant to the post that you're actually sharing, it's such a powerful way to start driving traffic and just getting more out of the links that you're sharing. And again, the other huge benefit here is that you are able to borrow from the authority of some of these bigger websites out there. And it gives you more credibility, right? Not only the fact that your pop-up is showing on these bigger websites, but also that you're able to get people to click initially by leveraging the credibility of some of those bigger brands out there. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are some websites that it doesn't allow this on. Basically, the technology that this uses is called it's iframe technology, and there are certain websites that will block that. But pretty much 90% of the websites I've tried on here, it will use. So major media publications here in the UK, I've tried sharing articles from that, works absolutely fine. So I'd highly suggest checking this tool out if you're looking to get more out of your marketing. If you're somebody who shares articles regularly with your audience, whether it be through email or your social media channels, it's an amazing way of being able to get your website and advertise your website on top of those pages. So highly suggest checking this tool out. And if you are looking to get more organic traffic to your website, I'm going to link to another video on this screen right now that gives you 5 quick wins that you can implement to start bringing more organic visitors to your website today. So be sure to go check that one out and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.